All right, welcome here, everybody. We'll get started. My name is Steve Reynolds, and I'm the Executive Director here at Regional Connections, and really glad you're able to join us this evening. This session is called Welcome to Regional Connections, and it's really meant for new clients. If you're new to Regional Connections or a newcomer to Canada, and you may be coming to Regional Connections, or other people in the community too, who want to know more about what we do and what's happening when newcomers come to Regional Connections. There's quite a bit going on, so lots to talk about. So we'll just go kind of a little bit into all the different activities and programs. And then also unique tonight, we'll provide a bit of a Ukraine update. We're not like the experts on everything or anything like that about Ukraine, but as far as what we know of the response that's happening from the government and at the community level, and then of course what we are and will be doing to help welcome Ukrainian families to the community. We'll go over that a bit as well. So this session is recording. We'll share the link after so that people who missed it can watch it. We plan for this to just be an hour, so we should be done by 8. While we are speaking, you can put questions in the chat box, and most of those we'll address at the end there, at the question and answer part. So as I said, I'm the Executive Director at Regional Connections, and a number of our excellent staff are here this evening, and we'll all be taking turns sharing about the different things that we're doing that people can get help from and participate in. So we will jump right into that. Who we are as Regional Connections, we're a local nonprofit organization, and we have 4 offices in Winkler, Altona, Morden, and Dauphin. We provide support to some other nearby communities as well within the regions, also some remote support to Churchill. But our 4 main offices are there on the screen, and all the same organization. You get the same support and service no matter which office you come to. Our regular hours are 8:30 to 4:30 at those offices, but we also do some outreach to some other ones. So Carmen, we're there once a week on Tuesdays at the Carmen Town office. Morris, we're there every 2nd week at the Morristown office at the Stampede grounds. And we also provide remote support to Churchill and work with the Churchill Community Immigration Initiative to do that. And the contact information is there. And also this PowerPoint will be shared by email with everybody who participated after. So if you want any of this information or phone numbers or anything like that, you will get the PowerPoint later. You can also find us online, so we try to keep everybody up to date online. We have a website at regionalconnections.ca and all our events and activities. You'll hear about some of them that are coming up here tonight, but you can check anytime at regionalconnections.ca, and we have a calendar there with everything that's happening. And we use Facebook and Instagram, different sites for Winkler, Morden, Altona, or the Pembina Valley, and for Dauphin. And we also have a few videos on YouTube if you look us up, or especially for work and things related for professionals. You can find us on LinkedIn as well. And another really great way to stay up to date is our monthly e-newsletter. If you email us at info@regionalconnections.ca, you'll get more of the kind of information we're sharing tonight. You'll get the updates every month for different things that are coming up. So those are good ways to stay in touch. I want to spend a bit of time tonight on the Ukraine response and an update as far as we're aware here at Regional Connections. And as many people know from either from watching the news or many people in Pembina Valley and Dauphin areas with family and friends who have been affected by the conflict in Ukraine and have had to leave the country and are looking for refuge. There's been a lot happening, and it's been changing every week. And we're working hard to stay up to date and be ready to welcome people who would be arriving in the communities that we're working in. From the federal government, IRCC, or the Federal Immigration Department, they created an emergency travel visa eligible for a 3-year open work permit for Ukrainians that gets processed pretty quickly, often within just a few days, to travel to Canada as a quick pathway to get to Canada. And IRCC has received 195,000 applications since that visa went live, and 85,000 of those have been approved already. And so many of those people will likely be traveling to Canada, not necessarily all. Some people are still, trying to figure out what to do in Europe and in different countries they're in. And some families have been separated and things like that. And the war, of course, is ongoing and kind of unfolding or changing all the time. So people are responding to a very new and always changing situation themselves as families. But quite a few coming to Canada. There are those visas and other people who had already applied to immigrate to Canada and were waiting kind of in the system, had applications in process. Those applications were accelerated as well by IRCC. And now since January 1st, over 22,000 Ukrainians have immigrated to Canada. More recently, many of those would have been with that new emergency travel visa. And it's important to note on our end, as far as welcoming people to the community and supporting them and what will be available for them and what life will look like after they arrive. It is a pretty big difference for them to arrive with a temporary visa that's a work permit rather than a permanent resident refugee. So within Canada, Ukrainians at this point are not arriving with refugee status, which is a permanent resident status. So people are arriving. People who are coming with that visa are arriving with temporary status and an open work permit. IRCC has shared special measures. Oh, and it's not showing up well at all. There's a website that we will update before we email this out. But IRCC has a helpful website called Special Ukraine Measures, and all the visa information and travel information and different things that the Federal Immigration Department is doing, they're putting there on that website. And the province has a website called Manitoba for Ukraine. And the province of Manitoba is doing some things too to support people after they arrive. They have a reception hotel and some services available, and are prioritizing Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program applications from Ukrainians and trying to coordinate support after people come to Manitoba as well. IRCC and the province announced today they have chartered a flight of 300 people from Ukraine will be coming to Winnipeg later this month. So the IRCC and Manitoba are still working and providing updates all the time, and kind of the response is changing all the time every week. So part of what we're doing is to try to stay up to date and make sure that we're ready to welcome people as they arrive in the community. Go to the next slide there. For the Regional Connection service area in the Pembina Valley and Dauphin, since the start of the conflict in Ukraine, we've had 22 Ukrainian families arrive already. Some of those had those accelerated applications, and some have been arriving on temporary visas already and with the open work permit. At this point that we know of, 26 more families are working on visa applications and travel plans and hoping to travel to the Pembina Valley. 16 more are doing the same and hoping to travel to Dauphin and area. And those numbers are changing all the time too, as it's, I mentioned, very much a changing situation for people who are in Europe right now and are deciding what to do. And could be more families as well after that. As far as things go on our end and all the services that you'll hear about here this evening, settlement and employment and language and community connections and childcare and support for children and youth, these services will all be available and ready for arriving Ukrainian families as well as other newcomers arriving in the next few months, whether they're refugees or immigrant, economic immigrants or on different statuses. we're ready to go here at Regional Connections, and are really focusing on working with, in this situation, and trying to stay up to date with all the community supporters and volunteers and people who are getting involved. The different towns have different things going on as far as people getting organized, which is really good to see. And groups are, excuse me for a second. Groups are self-organizing in the communities and arranging things like airport pickups and housing and donations, and in some cases, financial support, and connecting that way. So we want to make sure that as people arrive, they're put in touch with those resources if they can make use of them. And also encouraging people in the community to be mindful of the fact that, you know, it's over 6 million now Ukrainians have left Ukraine for safety, and there's 8 billion displaced within Ukraine, and they're joining the 80 million people worldwide who are displaced from their homes due to conflict, and over 26 million refugees within the UN refugee system. And so it's a worldwide need of people seeking safety. It's called humanitarian immigration, and when people are moving most fundamentally just to be safe and find safety for their family. And the community support is a big help for people in that situation who haven't made a plan, like say an economic immigrant might have planned for a few years for their family to move and saved up and kind of got everything in order. And it's still a challenge, a big challenge to do that. But people who have had to leave just for safety without planning or notice, of course, are in a very different situation, and some extra help is really needed. So that's been really good to see, and you can reach out to us at any time if you're interested, and we can put you in touch with people who are organizing support and getting involved in the community. And any arriving families, we'd always encourage to come to Regional Connections as soon as you can after you arrive in Canada, and we will get started supporting families that way. And we're trying to stay up to date. The government responses are changing every week. So many of our programs and services that have already been running for years and have helped thousands of clients before, and we have excellent staff working on them, are here and are ready to go. And for newcomers arriving to Canada, Regional Connections, that starts with settlement services, and Alessia is our settlement program coordinator, and she will present next.
Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Alessia Schwab-Bauer, and I am the settlement coordinator for Regional Connections. And I'm supposed to say something interesting about myself. And I was just thinking about today that my daughter, when I started this job, my daughter started grade 1, and now she's graduating grade 12. It's kind of exciting. So that's the interesting thing I could think of today. All right, and I will explain a little bit what we're doing as a settlement practitioners. And yes, so newcomer clients at Regional Connections all start with a settlement program. As soon as you have moved here, you can come to Regional Connections to see a settlement worker. We will do a needs assessment with you, talk about your goals, and make a settlement plan. We can help with government documents like getting social insurance number or Manitoba health card. We can help you learn about the way things work in Canada, how to buy a house. I just finished a session before this session, income tax, legal system, and more. We will also help you find resources and programs in the community, like community centers, parent-child programs, and food banks. One of the most important things we do is connect you to other programs and services at Regional Connections. Based on your settlement plan, you will find out about our employment, language, volunteer, and settlement programs. A settlement worker can also help you with interpretation or translation when you need it. And we can help advocate for you and problem solve if you run into a difficult or confusing situation working with Canadian culture and system. We're always up to date about changes related to successful settlement in Canada. We inform our clients about any changes and make sure everyone is aware. For example, you need up-to-date information if you are on temporary visa and planning to apply for permanent residence, or if you are permanent residents and planning to apply for Canadian citizenship. We can help you plan and make sure you have all the right information to take the next step in your life in Canada. Most of all, we are here to help with whatever comes up. If you need help, just contact us and we will help you or connect to your right person or program who can help you. We have to have great research, quick acting skills, and passion for what we do. You can make an appointment to see a settlement worker by calling or coming to any Regional Connection office. I will talk a little bit about our HIPPY program. Next slide. Yeah. All right. HIPPY stands for Home Instruction for Parents or Preschool Youngsters. We provide in-home support to newcomer mothers who may not be able to have access to community support due to a variety of barriers such as language, transportation, and more. We bring in training home visitors to deliver one-on-one role play with mothers so they can learn and help develop valuable skills their preschool child needs to be ready for kindergarten. We also work with the mother in providing opportunities to integrate into community service like family resource centers, public health, and other family events and activities in our community. HIPPY is a 3-year program geared towards mothers with children aged 3 to 5 years old. Each year is a 30-week curriculum and monthly group meetings that help connect mothers with other mothers and children in HIPPY program. How does the HIPPY program work? The HIPPY home visitor visits a client once each week for 1 hour. Visit can be done either in person or virtually, whatever the mother is more comfortable with. As mentioned, the one-on-one support helps mothers understand the child development and how the activities help promote learning and bonding in the home. The mother can then practice these activities with the child throughout the week. Extension activities such as quality books and toys are also available to use to encourage these skills even more. At least once a month, we bring all the moms and kids together for a fun group event. We might hear from a community speaker about parenting or local programs for kids and families. We might do a craft or have a snack together. Most of all, we provide an opportunity for moms who are isolated at home to get out and meet other moms, and for kids to meet each other. We have children and transportation support available for the once-a-month group meetings. To learn more about HIPPY, contact Alicia. Alicia, I will put your email address in here, or you can do that as well. Okay, Swiss. Do I cover Swiss or would?
I'm here.
Okay, you're here. Awesome.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. My name is Alan Jones, and I'm the Swiss coordinator at Regional Connections. Swiss stands for the Settlement Workers in Schools, and so I'll talk about that in just a moment. Just to share something about myself, I do enjoy being outside, and it's a lovely evening out there today. And something that's coming up, if you have noticed, the benefit of being in rural Manitoba is that we have a great sky in the evening. And there's actually a lunar eclipse happening on Sunday, starting at about 10:30. So if you are still awake and like going out to do a little bit of observing of things, look east at 10:30 p.m. and you can start watching lunar eclipse. So Settlement Worker in Schools program at Regional Connections. We have partners with all 4 school divisions where we have offices. So there's Borderland School Division in Altona, Western School Division in Morden, Garden Valley School Division in Winkler, and Mountain View School Division in Dauphin. Our Swiss staff work at Regional Connections and in the schools to help newcomer children, youth, and their families be more successful in the school system. We help newcomer children and youth get started in their new schools. When you first move to the community and come to Regional Connections to see a settlement worker, the settlement worker will tell you about the Swiss program. So the Swiss staff can meet with you and do a needs assessment and develop a plan for your family. We also help your family with school registration and school forms and make sure that we introduce you to the schools where your children will attend. We help the parents of newcomer students learn about and become part of the school community. In Manitoba, parents can be very involved in the learning process with their children. There are many opportunities for parents to connect with the school and get involved. So we can help with information and support so you can make those connections. We'll help parents learn about how school is structured. For example, we have early years, which is kindergarten to grade 4, middle years, which is grade 5 to 8, and senior years, which is grade 9 to 12. With parents' permission, our partnership with the school divisions means your child's school can call us on your behalf so we can help you understanding what the school wants. The school will send us information about school events, for example, something like Picture Day. So we can contact you if you need any help. We can arrange for translation services when needed as well for any school meetings. We help newcomer children and youth meet and become friends with other newcomer and non-newcomer children and youth. And we do that through some activities that are planned so children and youth will learn through fun experiences. For example, we do some events for crafts, cooking, games, and sports. So we help to support the learning of English and help the children learn about Canadian activities and to be able to connect with their peers. If you could just go to the next slide, please. We just threw in a couple of pictures of some typical Canadian classrooms, just because sometimes they're different from classrooms where you may be familiar with. And so the one on the left is just a typical early years classroom. Children work in groups, often around tables, and they're collaborating and working with adults in the classroom. There might be a teacher or some of the assistants that are there as well to help the children. So it's very hands-on learning and again, lots of group work. And in a high school, there are, again, typical classrooms that would happen, subjects, lots of opportunity for exploration, we would call it, of options. So in this case, there's bands, there are choirs, and vocational programs like shops where students learn to weld and do repairs on motors, that sort of thing. So lots of different opportunities available in the schools. Some of the upcoming events that we have for the children and youth, we've done some things recently on planting and plant care. Different communities do different things. We have a Kids in the Kitchen program, it's called, where the students are learning to do different recipes and how to cook some simple things for themselves. And we're doing some planning right now for summer activities that will be coming up. And we do, again, a lot of hands-on activities for the children and youth throughout the summer. If you have questions about the Swiss program, please feel free to call our offices and we will put you in touch with one of the Swiss workers or myself. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Lopez. I'm the Employment Program Coordinator at Regional Connections. I oversee and supervise the employment team and the employment program. We are able to help clients in Winkler, Morden, Altona, really everybody across the Pembina Valley, as well as Dauphin. And our supports and services are available to everyone, both locals and newcomers or immigrants to Canada. We have a lot of information, sessions, activities, supports and services, and really the goal of everything that we do in employment is to help our clients find suitable and meaningful employment and really work closely with them and help them achieve their employment or professional goals, whether it's helping with getting their credentials and experience recognized in Canada so they can transition successfully back into their profession in Canada, or whether it's just networking supports that they are needing. So they are introduced to people in industries that they are wanting to break into here in Canada, or whether it's really just improving their overall prospects into moving or finding a better paying job. And so these are just some of the things that we do in the program. This is not everything really. There's lots of activities available to you. And so I encourage you after the session this week, if you're available, to give me a call. We'll talk about what your employment goals and what your employment needs are and how our team can support you and help you achieve them. Some of the things that we do are resume and cover letter writing, helping you getting prepared as well for your upcoming interviews in Canada. We also have public computers available at each of our location that is free and available for you to use during office hours to help you with your job search. We can also help you provide, or we can also provide information to you about local job opportunities and connect you to employers and jobs that might match your skills and qualifications. We're also always offering trainings and information sessions about Canadian workplace culture to help you or to better prepare you as you transition or as you are still starting out at your new place of employment. We have a person on the team who is very knowledgeable about the credential recognition process in Canada, and he is working closely with internationally educated professionals who are wanting to to get their credentials recognized. If you are that person, I know that, it might be daunting and a very tedious process. If you're thinking about getting your credentials recognized and you're needing support, come to our office and give us a call, and we will help you and support you on that. We also have employment facilitators on the team that can help you with career planning. And like I said before, we always have information sessions or group sessions available to everybody. Some of the topics that we cover are starting a business in Canada, post-secondary application process as well. It's just one of the topics that we try and cover at these sessions. If you can go to the next slide, please. We also do special events such as job fairs, mentorship matches, and networking, as well as special trainings or projects that is geared towards employability or upgrading your skills. So really, there's lots of different opportunities for you in the program. I encourage you again to, give us a call so you're able to really take advantage and leverage on all these many different supports and services that are available to you. And again, we are available in Morden, Winkler, and Altona. We visit those offices regularly every week, but also if you're not available to come visit us in person, just give us a call. We are more than happy to, accommodate you and talk to you over the phone and help you remotely.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rhoda Keck, and I am the Language Program Director at Regional Connections. Something interesting about me, I guess, is that I live in Morris, and if you go on any of the local news sites, you will see pictures of this little town surrounded by water, and I'm one of the people inside that little town. So it makes for great walking. I go up and I look out and I see this beautiful lake that used to be a field of wheat, and now it's a lake, and see the beavers and all kinds of things swimming by. It's very, very cool. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the language program at Regional Connections. Regional Connections has many different language programs, so we have something for everybody, whether you have no English or you are looking to improve your academic English or English for workplace, we have a class for you. To register for classes, you would first come in and see our language coach, and she will talk to you about your language needs in your goals for living in Canada, and find a class that is best suited for you. We have online classes and in-person classes, and she will talk to you about what you prefer. Do you prefer to learn in person, or do you prefer to do it at your own pace and at your own time at home? And then we'll start with getting your language levels assessed so that we can put you in the correct class for you at the correct level. Regional Connections is one of 3 sites in Manitoba where you can have your language assessed in order to be placed in a government-funded English language class. One of the kinds of classes that we offer is language instruction for newcomers to Canada. We call it LINC for short. And this is a class that will help you with gathering information and gathering knowledge, and then we will be able to give you a LINC certificate, which is an official document that you can use for different purposes, and one of them is for citizenship. You can also go to one of our workplace language classes. We have workplace language classes on site in our buildings or online, or at different businesses in the area that we partner with. And you're going to learn, in these classes, you're going to learn language that is a little bit more specific to your work. So you'll learn how better to communicate with your supervisors, your bosses, and how better to communicate with your coworkers. We also offer some workplace specific classes that will help you if you are, let's say, an internationally educated teacher or an internationally educated nurse. We'll offer classes that will help you with your English so that when you move, hopefully, back into that profession, you will have the language that you will need to do that. We also have other classes like IELTS preparation classes and different classes like that. We also have Manitoba funded classes. So let's say you are looking to really work on your reading and writing skills. We have classes that are set up specifically for that purpose. Many people are looking to get a GED, which is like an equivalent to a high school diploma. And you would come to one of these classes and we would help you work on those reading and writing skills, and also some of your speaking skills as well. And you can earn up to 2 credits towards your high school diploma in those classes. We have classes in the mornings, in the afternoons, evenings, and online. And any in-person classes, we offer free childcare as well. We are beginning to register for our summer programming. So this year we are offering, again, both in-person and online classes. We're offering some classes that will help you if you want some support with your computer skills. If you want to work a little bit more on your speaking and listening and your pronunciation, we have classes like that as well. So if you're looking to get some more information on our language classes, and if you are looking to register for a class, please call our office or email us. I'll put my email in the chat, and we will look to find the best way that we can help you with your language needs.
Hi, everybody. My name is Natalie McFarlane, and I'm the Childcare Coordinator at Regional Connections. A fun or interesting thing about me, something that's interesting about me is that I love to bake and try new recipes in the kitchen. That's the only thing that I could think of, so I'm going to share that with you. So to tell you a little bit about the Childcare Program, we offer free on-site childcare at 3 of our locations, so Morden, Winkler, and Altona. This program allows clients with children to take daytime ESL and literacy classes. For clients, while they're attending class, the children can come to childcare. As newcomers to Canada, many children have little or no English, and in some cases have never been away from their parents. So we understand that leaving your child for a few hours at a time can be difficult, but our caring staff provide a warm and welcoming environment for the children. Communicating with the parents is very important to us, and we want parents to feel very comfortable dropping their children off with us each day. Our goal is to help children practice their social skills by building friendships to encourage them to learn English while playing with friends and with staff, and also to develop a routine that's very similar to what school will be like in later years, and to prepare them for kindergarten. I always say that we are the happiest place to visit in the building, so often children who attend regularly are not ready to go home when classes are finished for the day. We do have limited spaces available, but please feel free to contact me for any other questions or for space inquiries. Also, we have childcare for the summer classes that Rhoda had mentioned before too. One other new thing that I wanted to let anybody know is that we're also hosting a summer day camp for children that are going into kindergarten or grade 1 or grade 2. This will be happening in the summer, 2 days a week in Morden, and 3 days a week in Winkler for the months of July and August. Registration will be happening in June, so just to keep your eye out for that. And if you have any questions, I'll put my email in the chat as well. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shepard Chwandire, and I'm the volunteer coordinator with Regional Connections. Something interesting about me. I enjoy being in the outdoors. So one of the things that I enjoyed doing when I was back home in Zimbabwe was being a tour guide. And so I had the experience of, experience and encounters with animals like lions and snakes and stuff. But today I'm going to share something very different to that. I'm actually afraid of anything that has to do with rats or mice. I'm very much afraid of those little guys. So that changes everything. I'm going to talk a little bit about the volunteer program and just share the opportunities that we have at Regional Connections. So the volunteer program aims to help connect newcomers to our various volunteer programs in the Pembina Valley. We offer different volunteer programs within the organization and externally as well. Here are some of the volunteer programs we offer. Community mentor program. Local volunteers are paired with a newcomer and their family, if possible, and share information about the community. They aim to build relationship and help newcomers in the early stages of settling into our community. Conversation groups or conversation circles. Newcomers and locals meet together in person or online and do different activities, from sharing information about living in Canada, cooking classes, and practice conversations. This is a great way for people to connect as well. Events. Here we connect volunteers to various local events, such as the Harvest Festival, which we are excited to be involved in this year as well, hosting the Culture Fest here in Winkler. And then there's a Sunflower Festival in Altona. We have the Winter Festival as well in Morden. We also connect volunteers to external organizations who are in need of volunteers as well. Classroom assistance. At Regional Connections, we offer English classes to newcomers who are wanting to improve their English skills. Volunteers in this program will assist teachers and those participating in class. Some volunteers use this time to gain experience to one day teach in their own classes. And then we have finally language buddies. Those who are wanting to continue to practice their English skills outside of Regional Connections classroom can be paired with local volunteers who meet together in different settings, like going for walks, coffee shop, or inviting people to their homes as well. The goal of this of the Language Buddy program is to help the client practice their English skills in an everyday setting. As a volunteer program, we are not limited to just the above programs. We take each client's needs into consideration and try to help where we can. Volunteering is a great way to meet new people and connect with community. If you have any further questions about volunteer program or would like to get involved, please contact myself or reach out to our offices as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shepard and everyone. I forgot to share something interesting about myself as usual. And there's not much interesting other than this spring, I went from having 0 chickens to 85 chickens in 1 week. And so now there's a lot of chickens. And some of those chickens came from the childcare program. The kids had an incubator and some eggs, and they kept the eggs warm and turned them, and they hatched 5 chickens, and that was a lot of fun. But when they got too big for the kids, then I brought them home, and now they're happy out in the barn. So we also have a variety of support services here at Regional Connections. We have a mental health counselor named Diana, who's here a few days a week and is able to support clients. Immigration and integration and the transition for families is a major life event, and it can be stressful, there can be anxiety, it can be lonely and isolating, and of course for refugees and some clients leaving conflict, who are carrying trauma with them, and some of that can start to come out and kind of unfold after they arrive. And so Diana is available and is here just to talk or to have an appointment or whatever is needed. She's happy to meet with people, is able to provide service in English or Spanish, and also bring in other interpreters if we need to. And we have staff who speak quite a few different languages and are able to work with clients in different first languages, and also keep a list of community contacts and volunteers who might be able to interpret when needed, and are also aware of like professional translation services that people can access if they need to pay for a certified or professional translation as well. And the HIPPY program provides some transportation for services. Childcare is a great support program, as Natalie described, that makes sure parents are able to spend a lot of time in English classes, and the kids are also supported and develop themselves as well. And we have a notary public, Alessia, who you heard from earlier, on staff as well. So those are some very important support services in addition to the regular programs. And the local immigration partnerships out of Regional Connections, you may have heard of these or seen them. These projects are a little bit different. So everything you heard about this evening is how we work directly with our clients, with newcomers, and welcome them. The local immigration partnerships work with stakeholders and other people in the community, people at City Hall and on municipal councils, and directors and managers at school divisions and businesses, and within the healthcare system and things like that, as well as with newcomers who have been arriving to the community and have lived experience of coming to these communities and what that was like for you. And we try to bring all those people together and talk about how are these communities for welcoming newcomers, for integration, for people's success, what's working well, where are there barriers and problems and things we need to change so that these communities can be more welcoming for everybody. And so that's really important, and we're hoping our communities grow and become better. Our vision at Regional Connections is that we're building community together with everybody collaborating and working together. So there's always opportunity to volunteer with the local immigration partnerships too. Whether you're a newcomer and you would like to share about your experience, if you've arrived here recently, or you've been in Canada for years, or you were born in Canada, there's different opportunities for people to get involved and help make our communities more welcoming through the immigration partnerships. And all of our services are free for our clients. And so we really appreciate the support of our primary funders, the partnerships with the towns and cities and other programs that we work with in schools and school divisions. And we really believe that working together just kind of makes everything run better and work better. And we'll all get the best outcomes together for clients and for our communities if we're coordinating and working together. But especially you can follow up with any questions anytime or talk to us anytime by coming to Regional Connections. On the website, there's a chat box and the phone numbers and email addresses and everything are there too. So you can give us a call or reach out anytime.